You fit in right at the studio. That's all we do.
Cameras are rolling. Audio is rolling.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. That's my mic. It doesn't look like it's picking up.
It is. You just have a soft, pretty voice.
Testing, testing,
That's
1,
what
2,
that
3.
is.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
It does that when I use my sexy voice on the mic. It does that same thing. So that's why I try to be careful when I'm using my sexy voice on the mic, because I'll be like,
I can't change my voice.
what's that? What's that? Oh, that's okay. It's all good. Okay. Hey, you want to name the baby Ace if you want to. It's fine.
Oh my God.
Yeah. His name is Ace, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I'm trying to help you. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure your kid is dope. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to do. You know, whatever. I gave you the advice. You do you.
Do you, boo-boo.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, what's going on? It is the Ace Micheals Show. I want to welcome you. Oh, we're not rolling. We're not rolling, y'all. Sorry. Now we are. Hey, what's going on? It is the Ace Micheals Show. I want to welcome you to the experience. I'm happy to have you on board. Listen, if you ever want to be a guest on the show, all you have to do is send your email, or you can call. The number's below. And that way you can get on the show, you can speak your mind, you can voice your opinions, ideas, suggestions, convictions, beliefs, dreams, goals, all that. We can talk about it here live on the show. I want to bring to mind something that we don't always remember, we don't always think about. Think about this. Back in the day, James Brown music was considered by some the music of the devil. The Beatles, Elvis, Buddy Holly, these were all considered bad music artists to listen to by certain people. They were actually afraid that by listening to this music, you would actually be sinning. The music would lead you to sin. And I want to get your thoughts on it. If you send us an email or a DM and let us know your thoughts on, really? The devil? Really? You're telling me is the devil. The devil's sitting around making you want to move your groove thing, and that's a bad thing. I'm just curious. So send us an email. If I like your email, I'll read it live on the show. And maybe we'll send you out to a movie or something. We'll get you 2 movie tickets. You can go to a movie, take your gal, take your guy, and enjoy a movie. Let's get the show started. So today, on my show, I have a guest who's been on the show before. She is a fabulous music artist. She does her music thing like that. And she's also an entrepreneur in today's show business, where you got to do a little bit of everything. Welcome to the show again, Chantal Alexis.
Thank you so much.
Excellent to have you on board, darling. How are you?
Amazing.
In your
Amazing.
looking so hot outfit.
Oh, thank you.
When I see
All
a woman
pink.
dressed like this, I want to say, what time's the concert? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You're
That's
looking good,
definitely
girl.
how I want to go to my concerts. I just want to be a businesswoman.
Yeah, this
Right.
is a hot look, though.
Thank you.
You got it like nice. So we want to know about your music first and foremost,
Right.
because you're a music artist,
Yes.
singer-songwriter.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
And how many songs have you written?
Countless. I write every day.
Countless because you don't want to count them, or countless because there's so
I've
many
never-
good ones that you can't even start to count them?
I've never counted. I started when I was really young, and it was a coping method for me. And I can't even tell you how many songs I wrote before I was even 15.
What's your best song?
I think my best song is the one that I'm actually writing. I just got done writing it, and it's called "Taking Over You."
Let me
Taking
think about
Over
this
You.
title for a second. It's called Taking Over You.
Taking Over Me. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, it's a total difference.
Yeah,
okay.
sleep.
Taking Over Me.
We all
I
need
like
it.
that.
Taking Over
I
Me.
like that. Taking Over Me. What's that about?
It's a cross. It's kind of like a conflict, a love conflict.
Sure.
It's at the beginning. It's talking about how I was pushing someone away, and they just kept coming. Basically, they had that warning. We knew that it was forbidden, but we just
Ooh, I
kept
like that.
kept pushing, right?
I like forbidden
And
stuff. That's good.
The second verse actually is a rap, and is the reason why I consider it my best song is because it's not just this song just brings my soul to life. I'm able to kind of showcase my abilities. Now the rap is about the person who messed up, the person who I ended up leaving. So then the new person I was actually pushing away, now they can take over me. They can take over me.
Okay, I like it. I like it. I just want to say to the audience, just don't you worry about this part. This is just for me and them.
Right.
Chantal is such a good-looking woman. Can you imagine anybody messing up with her? Like, why would you mess up, dog? Like, what are you thinking, dog? Get it together. Anyway, okay, back to you now. So it's called Taking Over You.
Taking Over Me. Taking Over Me.
Taking Over Me. I like it. I like it. Now, can I just give you some unsolicited, my little 2 cents creative advice?
Always, yes.
Okay. You're going to be doing a music video of this song, right?
Yes.
Okay. You got to be dancing in food.
Dancing in food?
Yeah, like Jell-O or some kind of food. No, seriously. Really? Seriously.
Okay, I'm
because
listening.
it hasn't been done that I've seen. I've never seen anybody dancing in Jell-O. I've seen people doing like a pool routine with like the several dancers, things jump in the pool, that kind of vibe. But I'm telling you, if you really want this to be a hit, because you got a good concept. But see, concept don't sell records. You got to have Jell-O or spaghetti with angel hair, not rigatoni. But like, I'm just saying, hey, I'm trying to make it sound dope. I'm trying to make it sound dope.
I'm gonna give you credit on the creativity, because people like to see things that don't necessarily make sense, and then a female dancing in food. I see your logic.
You have a Jell-O mold that's like shaped like you. Right? I'm just saying.
I'm saying, you know what? The concept that I have for the music video just outbeats that so far that I'm not gonna. Next one.
Not to be you, Jack. We got to make sure we do legal, because you know how they do. You got to make sure. So anyway, okay, Jell-O mode aside, whether you do the Jell-O mode or not, that's up to you. But you do have a good premise for a song. I want to ask you, like, as a songwriter, do you ever write something and then you say, that's a little too personal? I don't want people to really know that much about my political views, for example, or my bedroom tactics, or my, how I treat my animals. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't want them to be that personal in your life.
Well, I find a balance between, I told you I'm writing a book. With my music, I want my demographic to be so wide. That I have to be, sometimes I do think about that, but at the same time, when I write, I have no desire to really write about that kind of stuff. A lot of my stuff is motivation. One of my songs is called Stay Alive. I've got a lot of messages, like hidden messages in my music. Ultimately, I want to enhance the people around me, including my fans, including my family, my friends. So therefore, if what I'm doing is expressing myself through music, then I'm gonna have those messages in my music. So I really don't come across that. However, I am an account executive over at FGC Studios. Now that puts me in a position of, for one, I'm the first lady. I'm the only female there. So I'm very blessed and grateful for that. And the guys that I work with are just the energy is so great, and it's always professional. So it allows me to jump on people's songs. So we have these amazing artists come in, and they sometimes want me to jump on their songs, and I'm thinking to myself, I have this nonprofit, I have my book, I have certain things, this image. However, I don't like to limit myself. So then that thought immediately is fear, and I think we should run away from fear. Through that.
I do agree to run away from fear. However, while I'm not running away from fear, don't you get concerned that as an artist that there's some things you don't want to put out? Like, there's a difference between revealing yourself in a Kendrick Lamar fashion, and then if you're not careful, you go all the way over to Kanye, where everything is open book, and you're like, whoa, that's a bit much, brother, for a record. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, we only trying to listen to a record. I think one of the best quotes I ever heard, I think it was Trevor Noah that said, as far as Kanye is concerned, we really want to know what you're thinking, as long as it's over a really dope beat. Like, aside from that, we don't need to know everything that's going on in your head.
Exactly.
But do you ever feel like that? Like, as an artist, I mean, you're not just open book. You don't want just people just knowing all your stuff.
Exactly.
But at the same time, you want to share with your fans some parts of your life, right?
I think I'll say this. I say this to my kids. I say this to my friends. I say this to my family. I say this to myself. My only goal in life is really a balance and growth. So with that being said, I find a balance with everything. I'm sitting here and I stress about what can I put in my songs, and immediately I cut that stress away and go, I know my limits. Which means I have none, because I find a balance. The limits, I don't do limits. I do balance. And so no matter what I put out, there's going to be enough forethought to where I'm like, I'm still going to be myself, but I have to be palatable. Because if you're going to put yourself in front of children, you're going to put yourself in front of people who are looking up to you, who believe in you, your message means everything. And some people may not believe that, but I do. I believe that my message means everything, and I want children to listen to my music. I want my kids to be able to show their music off. Heck, at a talent show at their school, I want them to do my song.
Right,
and that means I have to find that balance with what's appropriate and what's not.
It sounds like you believe that artists have a responsibility for their content. You know,
Yes.
what's interesting
Yes.
is, I've said this on the show before, you know, anymore, like I opened up the show talking about the 50s music and so on and so forth. But you know, nowadays, you can have a hit song, literally, as long as you mention alcohol, a nightclub, and a female lingerie item. And you can have a hit #1 single. You can be like, girl, you look good with a thong on.
Yeah.
Stepping in the club with a thong on. I'm sipping on Patron. I'm looking at that girl. She got a thong on. Boop, 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 boop. You know what I'm saying? Thong song.
You killing me, Ace.
Because you know they're going to use it. You know, right now they're like, oh, snap.
one part
Stepping
they're
in the
gonna
club with a thong on.
Yeah.
No, sir. No, sir. Don't do it.
You know,
I'll see you in court.
in response to that, I've heard so many different songs that have no words.
Right.
It is the beat that pulls you in. These producers are so in tune, especially the ones that are making a lot of money, with the sounds that are going to pull you in. They're addicting. Certain loops that they have, the way that they do it is to pull you in. And then all you got to do is, man, I could just go, just like what you just did, anything over this beat. Now,
No,
without
you
the
can't
beat.
do what I just did.
Without the beat.
What I just did was dope.
Okay.
You can't just do that. No, that.
Without the beat, I put my own swag, but without the beat, you're not going to get away with that, know? So really, you can just have fun with it. And that's when people are really going to gravitate towards your stuff, is when they see that you believe in it and you're having fun. Ultimately, unfortunately, it doesn't necessarily mean that the lyrics are going to be good for your soul and for your mind. People get so caught up in the beat that they don't understand what you say is reality,
That's true.
The things you listen to.
There was a song in recent history called Pumped Up Kicks, which the guy said that he wrote about a teenager that wanted to shoot his high school up because he was unpopular and he wanted to go to school and kill everybody. And the song became very popular. It's a song by Foster the Peeper. And I loved the song. I used to love to play it at the pool parties and all the get-togethers we would have. It's just a catchy beat. And it wasn't until after I read the article about all of the parents that are boycotting the song that the last time I listened to it, I actually deleted it from my playlist. Because, I mean, how can I glorify that?
Right.
How do you feel about that as an artist yourself?
Well, I agree. For example, Ring Around the Rosie. Do we really understand what that's about?
I don't even understand what you just said.
Ring Around the Rosie, Pocket Full of Posies, Ashes, Ashes. This is about the plague. We're talking about people who actually fell down to their death, and we're teaching our children that this is something fun in the
You're talking about the kids' song, Ring Around the Rosie?
Ring Around the Rosie.
That's what that's about?
Yes. It's about the plague. And so people actually dying. And so in reality, we don't really know what we're listening to. But I agree with you. There's a song I used to listen to back when I lived in Utah. I was all about my country and rock. And so I'd listen to the song Whiskey Lullaby.
Will you do that again? What was that?
All about.
I was all about my country.
I was.
Were you a cheerleader?
Oh, no.
I was all about my country
and rock. And I would listen to Whiskey Lullaby, and I would literally at the time I had a boyfriend, and his name was Cal, and we just redid his whole backyard. We built a pergola together. We did like this, you know, all the grass. We actually built a pond back there together. I mean, we just redid this and painted his fence white, everything. And then we put what is it called? A hammock up, and I was in that hammock listening to Whiskey Lullaby constantly. And you know what happened? I ended up getting so deep in my emotions and focusing on the things that I was depressed about, because I was, like I said, not finding a balance. I could listen to Whiskey Lullaby on the way to church, or I don't go to church, but you know, on the way on a road trip. But if I'm listening to it all the time on repeat, eventually it's going to set some kind of a precedence in my head, I believe, because that's what it did to me. So I had to stop listening to it.
So are you one of the people that believes that if people listen to, say, to Ozzy Osbourne or some other, I mean, you may not know much Ozzy Osbourne
I
music,
do.
but the point is, I know you do, but they may not. My point is, you can't please everybody, and that's why you do your own thing. No, that's a different show. My point is, do you believe that music can incite people to commit crimes, can incite people to do unsavory things, to do violent things because they heard a song? Because music, you think music can make somebody do
I
that?
think absolutely, and energy alone can make you do that, which is why I believe you should always keep positive energy around. Negative energy inside a home can cause you to have anxiety. It can cause you to have anger because you're not sure where this energy is coming from. Like, why do I feel weird in my own home? I have the wrong people in my home. So music, I believe it does, but it really just depends on the consumer, because for me, I'm never going to let a song affect me to create some kind, or to commit a crime. But some people are more impressionable. Some people are not mentally there. Some people are, you know, have mental issues where they don't understand, they don't have discernment. Some people are too young to understand that it's just a song. They think that it's, I know teenagers that are just like, they ride or die with the artist that they love. And for me, I'm like, I respect artists because I know how hard it is to get. I technically don't know by experience how hard it is, but I'm learning daily how hard it is to actually be relevant in this industry. And so I respect them, but in no way do I allow them to influence my actions. Some people do, though.
What about, you know, recently there's been a great cause towards the body shaming, the bullying, people being more assertive about not saying certain things about people's weight and people's look. And it's come again to the music industry where people feel like Katy Perry influences so many people that we've got to be careful which songs of hers we play, because it might inspire us all to feel like we're too fat. And what are your thoughts on that? Like,
I don't
really,
think so.
do you think that an artist is responsible to make sure that everybody's in certain shape, 0% body fat?
I believe that we have the responsibility to make up our own minds, regardless of what other people believe, regardless of what other people put out there. I have my own opinion on things, and I have shaped and formed my reality, and it has nothing to do with what anybody else believes or thinks. It's trial and error. It's my pain. It's my memories. It's my experiences. You know, the things that I've done wrong, my mistakes, all of those things shape my reality. So I think that people need to be more strong, and they need to have a certain kind of a barrier between reality, somebody else's reality, and yours. It's your responsibility. I don't think that you know, the artist is going to put it out there, and like I said, there's impressionable people who may not have their own opinion, and so they might take it on to be their own, but it's not the fault of the artist, I don't think.
And you mentioned about this studio that you guys are working in. So you have your own studio, so you have a free reign of creativity whenever you want. You can do whatever kind of music you want. Do you ever think there'll come a day when somebody will pay you to do a piece of music you don't want to do? And they're paying you so much that you say, man, I don't want to sing about raisins, but they're paying my rent. I mean, I got to do what I got to do.
I think on the come up, as you're creating yourself and creating this platform, it's important to do those things. I think that you need to be willing to be uncomfortable. You're not going to be able to have control over everything. The things that you can control, definitely do so. But if you're being offered money and you're hungry, you struggled getting over to your job because you don't have gas, then really turning it down says a lot about how serious you are about this. Now, for me, I'm not going to do some devilish song and throwing up gang signs, but I have been in music videos where I pretended to do a drug deal. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like, it was literally just walking by, we slapped hands, and people who understand the streets, they'll understand what that is. Some people are gonna be like, they just slapped hands. So for me, there's a balance. I'm not gonna be smoking weed on a music video, but if somebody else is smoking weed and then it cuts to me doing my thing, I'm cool with it. But I'm not, definitely, you can't put a price on your morals. And me being a mother, you'll never catch me doing stuff like that. For one, I don't want to embarrass my children. I want to empower them. I want them to see that you can be in the spotlight. You can chase your dreams. You can do the things that you love to do. You can be around people that do things that you don't necessarily believe in, but you got to stand your ground. Stand your ground. You're in charge. This is your life.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Let's say somebody comes along, and again, it comes down to money. You've made a song, what was the name of your song called?
Taking Over Me.
See, if I had a Jell-O music video to relate back to, the image would have stuck in my mind, so I would have remembered the title, but I'm just saying.
I feel you.
I'm not gonna try to drill it into you. You want to do it? I'm trying to help your career. Anyway, so let's say someone comes to you with a lot of money. You make a lot of money off this song. That's a better way to put it. You make a lot of money off this song. And then all of a sudden, this religious group comes along that says that your song is the work of the devil.
Yes.
What would you do?
Take it in, brush it off, and keep going. Because the reality is bad press. I mean, you're going to put something on Instagram, right? And, for me, I don't believe in paying for views and paying for followers. You know what I mean? But eventually, you keep going, you're going to get these views, you're going to get these fans. And you look at some of these amazing videos of these people who are famous, and there's a whole bunch of thumbs down, and there's a whole bunch of bad comments. And
That's a nice way to put it.
Right. And there's a lot of haters. But haters, for me, I am more motivated by the people who doubt me and the people who think that what I'm doing because I have 3 kids is selfish. I'm saying selfish, really? Because my kids are gonna need for nothing, and eventually I will reach the top. And then you're gonna be like, I believed in you the whole time. Reality is, it doesn't matter. I really don't care what people think. It's empowering that they even have an opinion. It's empowering to me. I'm like, oh, you have an opinion on me? That means I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm in front of you. You're watching me on YouTube. So you have an opinion? That's fine. Why don't you get up and do a better job? Go for it.
Define Chantal's success.
My success is based off of what I want and what I believe in, which is I believe there's no limits, and I believe that it takes a strong team, and I believe that it takes, for me, I'm very spiritual, but I'm not religious. My spirituality is everything. It guides me. It wakes me up in the morning. It's just everything. So my success, it's right now I'm in a tunnel. I see the light at the end of the tunnel, but the light is not the end goal. I'm never going to, reach a point where I'm satisfied. I want to always have different lines of income. I always want to meet new people who empower me and teach me. I think that success is in the mind. It really is. And there's people, I watched this documentary of these homeless people in New York. And I was so empowered by this because they had so many positive things to say. You have nothing. You are sleeping under a box in New York City, and you have something positive to say. I want to meet you. I want to take one night, I want to bundle myself up, and I want to cuddle under that box with you, and I want to learn something about your soul, because that to me is success. Yeah, they could get up and they could go work and they could make their own money, but hey, if you're satisfied sleeping under a box and you're still going to be positive and give me, heck, do your thing. That's not my life. I'm not going to judge the fact that you gave up. I don't know your life. I don't know why you gave up. But success is in the mind and in the heart and in the soul.
And that is what's up. I can't close my show on a stronger note than that. It's been the Ace Micheals Show. Hey, man, if you're one of those internet stalkers like myself and you want to follow Chantal, you can find her on the www at...
Oh, okay. So my Instagram is it's CHAN_TAL90. And I'm also, may I introduce my show?
Of course.
Okay. I'm also going to be on Instagram under the Chantal Alexis Show. And if you go to my my music Instagram, which is what I just gave you, I'll be posting links, I'll be posting little videos, and of course little segments of Ace and myself, because I just love this guy here. So come check it out. I've got lots of fun content. If you're into music, and you live in Vegas, I mean, you really just got to come see the studio. FGC Studios is taking over Vegas. So just come check it out.
And that is what's up. It's the Ace Micheals Show. You know what I say, man. Live the life you love. Love the life you live. Thank you.